We don't know.
Why ever feeling low? Can you grab mine out of there?
Ready?
Yep.
This episode of Becoming the Best Version is sponsored by the law office of Jazz Jordan, the injury firm that fights for you. If you've been hurt in a car accident, on the job, or due to someone else's negligence, you shouldn't have to face insurance companies alone. Jazz Jordan is committed to getting you the compensation you deserve while you focus on healing and becoming the best version of yourself. So if you or someone you know has been injured, reach out to the law office of Jazz Jordan. They don't get paid unless you win, because your recovery, your rights, and your future matter.
In a world where people look beautiful but lack truth and understanding, the essence of individuality is fading slowly. Everybody has a story to tell. And on my show, you get to tell it. Welcome to the conversation.
Thank you for having me.
I'm Annietta Davis, and I get to interview today the most excellent Stephanie Cleveland. Yay! She's so near and dear to my heart, and she's so special to me. Miss Cleveland, please tell my audience who you are and what you do, and tell us about yourself. Give us your resume.
Oh, not my resume. Actually, look for a job. Hire me. So I'm Stephanie Cleveland. I work in New Orleans. I'm a client preparedness coordinator. I basically take information and make it digestible to the community. That's my big girl job. And yeah, I'm a New Orleans transplant. And this is my aunt.
New Orleans transplant. My baby doing big things popping. But anyways.
Yes. Precisely.
So, Miss Cleveland, we're going to have a conversation with you about your life. And we're going to go back and look at your life and three major things that help you become the person that you are today.
Okay.
3 points in your life that help you develop into the person that you are today. So today you are 23 years old,
Yes.
independent,
Yes.
a working black woman doing her thing. I am so proud of this chick. Y'all don't have any understanding. I am so proud of you. I am like you're doing what I could only have thought to been doing at 23 years old. And I'm so proud of you, and I want you to live your best life. But I know there are a lot of young people that are wondering, what will I be doing at 23 years old? Will I have the essence and the perseverance to stand on my own? Because you live in New Orleans alone.
Yes.
Your family is in Georgia.
Yes.
You live in Louisiana alone.
Yes.
And it was a process to getting you to where you were, where you are now. I know there's many other bright and beautiful things for you to go into, but let's talk about how you became this independent, beautiful black woman today. So we're going to look at your life and go back and find the first thing that put you on the path to becoming who you are now.
Okay. So I would say the first thing was being born.
Of course.
Yes.
Being born to who?
Yes.
What did you think about
being
that?
born to my mom? She's great. Love her. She is weird. None to say the least. But love her. She's really taught me what it is to be a good person. So I say that's the first one, being born into the family I was born into.
Okay. Being born into the family that you were born into, how do you think that your family differs from other families, from what you've seen so far in your life?
Not everybody got home training, and common sense ain't common. At least that is somewhat prevalent in this family. And that, we just operate at a different level of understanding in what we do for one another and how we address one another, how we just handle business in general. It's much different than what other people are used to. You know what I mean? My normal is not everybody else's normal. And everybody comes to life or starts off at a different playing field, at a different level, you feel me, of understanding depending on who your parents are, what situation you're brought up into. So I could say that mine was well.
So looking at the young people that are your age on your playing field, you can now understand why some of the developmental things that you experienced were what they were.
Yeah, I would say because I was taught and talked to and learned certain things and was told what these things were, I am able to, I don't want to say like I'm just better looking out for certain things, but I'm able to understand what they are when I see them, know what things are when I see them. You know what I mean? And being able to decipher my own emotions and things of the such.
I think that's important because at 23 years old and all of the exterior influences, if you don't have some solidarity within yourself, it can be so easy to be driven and drawn, based off of what's around you and the people around you. So my hat's off to your beautiful family
Yeah, whatever.
for giving you something good.
Just a little something.
Just
Just an itty bitty piece of kudos. Nothing, not too much. Not too much.
Okay. So, what would be your second point?
I would say graduating high school and being in that relationship that I was in. It really, once I ended that, it really no longer that person. And so happy that I went through that. You know what I'm saying? For me, that was like I learned things that a lot of people don't learn until later in life. And I learned it very, very early. So now, excuse my language, I can't be fucked with. So, you know what I mean? Those things happening, that relationship ending, me moving on to the next things I was doing in life, which is AmeriCorps for the first year. This is my second term doing such. Really showed me what I do, what I am and am not going to be putting up with, what I do and do not want in a relationship, what I am and am, what I do and don't want to be bothered with. Like, just in general in life, what I'm going to put up with, what I'm not, what my standards are for people who are going to breathe around me and take up space. You know what I mean? And I realized that at one point in my life, before those events, that the standards were in hell. And I learned that. So learning that the standards were in hell, you know what I'm saying, made sure that my standards were like...
Got better.
Yeah, very, very high. And at least somewhere where I could, I don't have to, nobody else goes home with me. I live in my own skin. So being comfortable with whatever I'm going to put up with is what I'm going to put up with.
Right.
And I have to be okay with that. Okay, nobody else live in my skin but me.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if everybody else is mad, I got to be okay with it at the very least.
Because, yeah, and that's a very true statement. And well, look, you 23 and you found that resolve. So that is an important resolve, because when you know your capacity, you're in a position to say too much.
Yes.
Overload. Stop.
No more.
Right,
we're not doing this anymore. Mm-hmm. I don't like this. This isn't okay. Like, understanding what your boundaries are in almost every aspect of life. Knowing what they are for you and nobody else is like how you, like, I don't like walk out the door in the day. You feel me? Like, it's how I walk outside. You feel me? Boundaries are set between what I'm going to do. Boundaries with what I am not going to put up with, what I am not going to be around. And it has to be an active choice to do these things and have these boundaries for yourself all the time. So, yeah, and it may sound like a lot at times, but it literally is. It depends on how I walk out my front door. Like, I'm not doing this. Right. You know what I'm saying? So we just not finna do this.
Right.
So I got to go do something else, or go do other things and find different ways to entertain myself, or, you know what I'm saying, scratch an itch. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, just scratching an itch. Certain things, having boundaries and understanding what those are, and yeah.
So now we're going to go into your third. Well, what would be your third point that helped you get to where you are?
I would say moving to New Orleans, as well as moving to New Orleans originally, and then doing my second move while in New Orleans to the home that I'm currently living in. Love my home. Beautiful, beautiful home. Love it because it's mine. Yeah. So moving to New Orleans, I had ended my first AmeriCorps term. Shout out to AmeriCorps. We love them. Send money to AmeriCorps. We need it. Yeah, I did AmeriCorps NCCC first year last year, 2024, and I did that. I completed it in November, and then I was staying in Ohio with a partner at the time, and my dad lives in Ohio as well. So I was there, and I did not like living in Ohio. There's nothing in Ohio. There's nothing to do in Ohio. Yeah, and it snows. That sucks. Um, and so I was living there, and I had to make all the adjustments to be able to move, you know, very, very far away, you know, like to where nobody I knew could vet places and, you know what I mean, look at things for me. It was all truly off of just like hope and a prayer
Really?
and a flight to Atlanta. Like, let's be honest.
So you got a job in New Orleans.
Yes.
And then you had to move to New Orleans.
Yes.
And you had no way of mapping out the who, what, when, where's, and hows of your journey to New Orleans.
Well, more so, like I did everything that I could as far as like I knew where my job was and I knew where the place where I was going to stay and how I was going to get there and like mapping out everything on the bus system because, you know, I take public transportation. So while it was a very calculated move, at the end of the day, I still kind of like flew cross country at a time and then drove, you know what I'm saying, 5 to 7 hours to New Orleans to a spot that could have been fake.
Yeah, you're right. That's
exactly what it could have happened.
That's a lot. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like very, very truly, like that is exactly what it could have happened. And to be completely honest, did not have no money for no hotel. Maybe a night or two.
So but in reality, what happened was,
I moved into my house. So I moved into the house with my first roommate, and that was fine for the time that it was. And then I decided that I needed to remove myself from that situation, and I moved into the house that I live into now, which is great. My roommate is cool. They're fine. And so the area that I'm living in is, I love my new neighborhood. So that's like the third final thing that I would say.
It brought you to who you are today.
Yeah.
And I think that as a young woman, a young independent woman seeing this world and feeling her way through, what is a word of encouragement you would give to someone maybe in high school that's getting ready to come out of high school, getting ready to step out in the real world? It's in the real world. It's a different world. Yeah.
I'm going to say this one thing, and it's going to sound so cliche. Don't get pregnant. Sex is overrated. Use a condom. Straight up. Yeah. Like that's I think children are great. I think they can be a major setback, especially in this day and age in the economic state of the world. Yeah, that's one thing I can say. But also, be true to yourself and know what you want. You know what I mean? Make decisions that are yours. Like I was saying earlier, doing things because that's what you want to do, not because of anybody else. At the end of the day, you have to live with your own decisions. Mm-hmm. This is your life. Can't nobody else just jump in your skin and handle it, big dog. So if you put yourself in positions where other people want you to be there and that's not the position you want to play, well then, you feel me? Here we are in this predicament when you could have just been yourself. And that's going to ruffle some feathers and people are going to be mad, but like, I mean, you only got one life.
Exactly, that part. You only got one life. And it's an interesting thing that even though you only got one life, if you listen to the elders or the people that are in your life to guide you and lead you, you can eat the meat and throw away the bones. But listen to what they have to say. Because they might give you some information that just might be good for you. And I know that that life is, you're going to run into all different types of people. So, and I know that can be a lot.
I think I want to say on the front of listening to our elders, I think we most definitely need to listen to people who have been here longer than us. There's nothing new under the sun. Just, you know what I mean? But what I am going to say is that the circumstances of which our elders grew up and what they grew into is completely different to now. So I think also with our elders wanting to guide us in certain ways, have to understand that the world that you grew up and live in is no longer. What we do now and how things operate and what is important and now how you raise up and make money and live your life and have a career, those things have changed drastically.
To a degree, I can agree.
To a degree, but at the end of the day, things have changed, especially culturally, socioeconomically, within the world, especially America and in the South. Things have changed. And while everything may feel the same and look different, I can look back at what you guys did and the freedom that you guys had in being able to just do certain things is no longer. You did. What did they?
Okay, okay. Okay.
You an angel today?
No, I did.
She got red on, y'all. She got red on.
I did my share of dirt. I ain't gonna sit here and say I didn't do what I do, but I did, but I did it. But that's why I say to a degree. But there are some things, there's some core essences and things that don't change.
It's Crystal with CW Tax Solutions, where we make taxes simple, stress-free, and smart. Whether you're a business owner or just trying to get your finances in order, we help you keep more of what you earn and plan ahead for next year. We service all 50 states, so don't wait for tax season. Prepare now and stay ready. Call CW Tax Solutions at 706-888-3891 or visit us in Sylacauga, Alabama. CW Tax Solutions, where clarity meets confidence.
That is true. I do want to say that there are core essences of things that do not change. One of the things that I don't think change is treating people well. You know what I mean? Being a decent human being. Truthfulness, honesty, and doing right just because it is right and not because you're owed something. You know what I mean? Just doing the right thing and not treating people like trash. One last thing is that kindness is free. And your nasty ass attitude costs. So save some money. I don't know.
Okay. Wow. That's a good one. Kindness is free. That's true. And I like when I'm looking at what is it, YouTube or Facebook, I see Darman on there.
Who?
This is the skits there's some skits done by this guy named Darman. And with those skits, he says the kindness that you put out in the world has a way of coming back to you.
Yes.
And I truly believe that.
Yeah, I most definitely do. I think that, like, as I've grown from being a teenager to being a young adult to being still a young adult, but an older young adult, that is true. You know what I mean? How you treat people does come back to you. I am very, very blessed. You know what I mean? And those blessings still really started coming in really when I stopped being a bitch. At least completely. And just doing things because I could and not because anybody owed it and because it was just like, why not? You know what I mean? That's when my blessings really started coming. You know, when it was just like, oh, you need it, here you go. What you need, you got this, Zoom here. And then things were just showing up. People were just handing me things. Like, you need this? One, for like instance, I had to move out of my house, out of the first place I was living in New Orleans. And I had made a friend on the train going to our family reunion. She helped me move out of my house.
Wow.
All because I was like, you're cute. You're like, you're a girl, I'm a girl. Why are we both coming and going from Birmingham to Atlanta? You know what I'm saying? Let's be friends. She helped me move out of my house.
Wow, that was weird.
You know what I mean? And quite frankly, she called somebody else to come help me. And there was no way in that amount of time that I could get everything that I owned moved. There was no way I was going to be able to move that stuff. I had one other coworker who would help me with their small car, but that was going to be several trips. Several.
And God made a way.
And it made a way simply because I was kind, because it was nice. You know what I mean? And it's just, you know, it's in every decision, in every action that you do.
Wow.
You know,
that's big. And to be at such a young age and to acknowledge that just makes me wonder how far and how much and how wider your reach will become. Because I think that when God blesses us with gifts, He gives us opportunities to use those gifts. And one thing I know about you and your heart is that you like to give back. You can be a little hard at times, but I know that you genuinely like to do right by people and to sow seed into people. I know because I am CEO of a nonprofit myself, Extended Hands, and we did a lot of service programs and where you were essential in helping get those done. Soup and salt.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, I remember those things, and they will forever be in my heart. I am your aunt, so of course I'm biased. I'm just gonna throw it out there, but but I see the greatness in you. I do. I see the greatness in you as an individual. I see the greatness in you as far as where you come from and where you're going and the lives that you get to touch. And I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of the fact that you standing on your own, girl. She did that.
Somebody got to.
So,
Somebody got to do it around here.
I know, and you doing it, and you doing
Indeed.
it. Hats off to you, young lady.
Yeah, I take the hat. Thank you.
That-
Put it back on.
That's great. That's great. If you could speak a word of encouragement to a young lady who's trying to decide, do I stay in this relationship? Do I get out of this relationship?
I don't want that
What
to
do
be
I
the
do when I
final
graduate
question.
from school? Do I go away? Do I stay at home? How do I decide what's best for me? When you were making those decisions for yourself, how did you what things came to your mind and how did you think about forming around what would take you where you wanted to go? Why did you choose AmeriCorps?
Okay, so going back to the first question, as if why you should leave that relationship. Quite frankly, I don't think you should, like, if this is just my opinion. I don't think that you should be dating anybody seriously in like really before 24. You can like them, you can date, you can be, I'm not even saying you can't be long term, but it's just like I think all of that seriousness on it is like a lot, especially when you're still growing, like your brain is still developing, and I think that like you would want it to develop before you make major life decisions. But hey, that's you know what I'm saying, discrepancy that one has to go through themselves. On the quote of going to school and things of that such, I'm very blessed in the sense that like, while going to school for me was seen as mandatory, it was an option and not one that was going to change the outcome of like my familial situation. Different people go do different things. You feel me? So going away to college it holds different weight for different people. Right. For me, it was just I was moving to where I was going, and everything was going to stay the same. Granted, besides me moving. But I would say when it comes to making decisions that are for you and to better your life, I would make sure, and it's very unfortunate, but you have to be selfish at some point. When you're in your 20s and when you're like graduating high school, this is it, big dog. You in the field. You gonna have to, you know what I'm saying, really get a shovel and, you know what I'm saying, figure it out. Do what is best for you. I'm not saying do bad things or hurt people or get over on people or scam people. We're not saying that. But like do what is best for you. Handle your business. Do what you have to do, but your business is your business, you know what I mean? And make sure that that's known, and that you do what you have to do for yourself. Running around a whole bunch of other people don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, keep it on the playground, really. On the AmeriCorps front, I went to AmeriCorps because I wasn't doing anything else at the time. I just didn't feel like I was, not that I wasn't. And it was just, I needed to get out of the situation that I was in, being stagnant and sitting in one place. I did not like that. So I decided to do it. And it was a great experience. I have a lot of friends from there, people who are going to be my friends forever. And I would recommend it to anybody, really. As long as you have the ability to evolve and adapt and want to do better and have at least some type of teamwork mentality, you can figure it out. Just don't be a horrible person. Is like the only way for it to be kind of the NCCC program to be bad. Yeah, really, truly, the NCCC program is fantastic. It's just if you're a horrible person, you're going to absolutely hate your life. Yeah. What was the next question?
I think that says a lot. I like the way you got all those questions and you went point by point. I think that in the next dispensation in life, where you're going, what do you aspire? Where do you see yourself going?
So I want to say career-wise, I do not dream of labor. So let's start there. I don't dream of labor. There is not like, and I've been asked this question multiple times, and I felt this way over the years of just growing up. When I was a kid, they asked, "What do you want to do when you grow up?" I want to be a veterinarian because I thought you chill with the dogs, man. I never ever wanted to work. It was never for me. I was really just meant to like be cute and spend somebody's money. So, but that's okay, you know. But here I am working, and I'm great at that as well. But I aspire to be happy and making money, and I don't want to be like a filthy rich individual. I just want to be able to take like maybe 3 vacations a year and see my family. You know, I aspire to be happy, and happiness for me at times happiness for me does come with a standard of living. You know what I mean? Let's be very, very clear. Happiness for me does come with a standard of living. But happiness does also mean like having different people around me, the community that I build. Community is something that I'm very, very big on, and I'm building it in New Orleans. Like I have friends who come and see me and cook for me, and I cook for them, and we show up for each other. We throw parties, and we do different things. That's a part of my happiness as well. So having a community, having my family, being healthy, you know what I mean, and understanding what health is. That health is on an individual level, and it's not about anybody else. It's about you and what you're doing. You know what I mean? What your blood, you know what I'm saying? It's not what on a scale of everybody else. You know what I mean? Handle what is for you. You know, I've quite frankly am healthier than I've been in a while.
God.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm healthier than I've been in a while, and so yeah. People would say whatever they want to say, but it's like regardless.
Yeah,
A spade is a spade.
Yeah.
So that's really what I aspire to be, and to not be stagnant. I think being stagnant is the killer of joy, the killer of life, I would say the killer of life. I think to be alive means to evolve. At least to be human means to evolve, and to be alive means to evolve. So I think if you're being stagnant, you're kind of going backwards. And so yeah.
Yeah, I can understand that.
That's one thing that I don't want to be, or like I'm scared of. And it's just like no matter even if we're moving slow. You moving. I'm not saying that you got to see visibly where you moved from yesterday to today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But motion is going.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Motion. And that's where I want to be. It's just like just always moving forward and pressing towards better.
Amen. That sounds great. Wow. I want to thank you for blessing me with your presence today on my show.
I do what I can.
You do what you can. Yes, you do. I'm Annietta Davis, and this has been Becoming the Best Version, a path to a better person. I've had the blessing today to interview my niece, and my beautiful niece, and she's great. She's wonderful. But I know that in this world, we all have an opportunity to shine. And though life takes us down different paths for different purposes, we have an opportunity to shine. I'm just going to say take advantage of it. Thank you for joining me today on Becoming the Best Version, a path to a better person.
This episode of Becoming the Best Version is sponsored by the Law Office of Jazz Jordan, the injury firm that fights for you. If you've been hurt in a car accident, on the job, or due to someone else's negligence, you shouldn't have to face insurance companies alone. Jazz Jordan is committed to getting you the compensation you deserve while you focus on healing and becoming the best version of yourself. So if you or someone you know has been injured, reach out to the Law Office of Jazz Jordan. They don't get paid unless you win, because your recovery, your rights, and your future matter.